Good afternoon. This is Dr. Bill White, and I'm with the American Orthodontic Society, and I want to talk to you a little bit this afternoon about understanding deep bite retention. You take somebody who has a very deep dental bite, in other words, you can't even hardly see their lower anterior teeth, or maybe you don't even see them at all, and you level it out and intrude their lower teeth and their upper teeth, and you get it to where they meet proper with overbite and overjet and everything just right. And when you finish them, you need to put a bite plate in there, and we've got videos explaining how to do the bite plate and everything. But if the person leaves the retainer out for just a few days, the bite tries to deepen again. Without that bite plate there, they'll try to deepen again. Then if they put the retainer back in their mouth, it'll hit early in the anterior part of the mouth, and the other teeth don't come in contact, but the load then is shared between the teeth out here and the joint. And then frequently they will come down with a joint pain when they put the retainer back in their mouth. Say they've lost it for a week and they put it in. I've had people come in and say, well, I put it in my mouth and my joint started hurting, and they were giving me all kind of trouble, and I had to take it out, and then it gets even worse. So let me show you what we do here with that, and that's the crux of this retention deal right here. So I'm going to go through a deep bite case. There's several other things I'll show you about this. And let me go ahead and go. This young man, a real nice patient, and we did not want his bite to change, of course, after we got through with it all. And you can see his upper teeth cover the lower teeth. You can't even see them, so the lower teeth would be up in here somewhere. I don't know whether we show you from the back side of the models or not, but he's in a kind of a class, half class 2. It's not, this lower tooth should be way out, coming in like this, and there, and it's not. So it's about a half class 2 with a deep bite. And this will be back. These cusps will be in the cuspal grooves when you get through with it. All right, looking from the front, you really don't see any lower anterior teeth, and there's several other things wrong here. He sucks in on it, has a vacuum. During the night he may form a vacuum in there, and it kind of caves in these bicuspids right in here. So we want to round that all out and keep that from, try to keep it from happening, but the retention will help hold that out. Excuse me. Now, on this side of the mouth, it's almost perfect class 1. See, that's going right down. This is the 6 keys occlusion right through here. So this is good over here, but we've got a mild class 2 on the other side, or about a half class 2, and then we've got this deep bite. So we're going to open this up. It's kind of a class 2 division 2 kind of. My throat's kind of stopped up on me this afternoon. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, we're going again here with this, and we'll watch this case as we do this. Now, we wanted to open the bite dentally, and we didn't want to open it skeletally. So we put blocks on these teeth back here, and you'll notice that as we Definitely you will see it here. So looking at it from the top now, the upper arch, this is kind of caved in, showing that he sucks in and forms this vacuum at night. I figured that out after years of wondering how it happens. Woke up with that sucking my tongue and created this tremendous vacuum in the mouth, and boy, it pulls these teeth in. And if you do it a lot, you'll end up with this kind of sunk in, and the molars are stouter, the cuspids are stouter, but the bicuspids give on this. All right. We go to the lower arch, and you've got the same caved in area, and you'll have crowding of the lower, because this is class 2 and everything. So we go on here to another picture. Now this is an excellent example of the intruding arches. We've got them hooked into the auxiliary tube down here on the lower 6-year molar, and then on the upper 6-year molar. All right, and these arches go way up like this and down, and you can hook this up on day 1 when you start the case, and you can have the case open while somebody with a single arch wire trying to get something big enough to do this gets started with lowering the bite. You'll have it lowered before they get there, so it'll cut off a couple of months or so of treatment time if you learn to use the double arch wire thing that we have in here. The little flexible wire, of course, does all the those 7 or 8 things. It rotates the teeth and levels them from tooth to tooth, and gets them in line and everything. And then the intruding arch pushes down on this and up on this and has very little effect. And if you put a block in here on the side, they chew on that like mad and put a lot of pressure on it. And when they press down on this, this is not going to raise or push these teeth together. Actually, it may depress these teeth, and you may come out reducing the GOG intestine on your cephalometric picture there. In fact, you can get reduction of the vertical dimension of the lower third by putting blocks on the posterior teeth back here, just like this. And you can leave this open up here. And in just a short time, these little arch wires right here will pick these teeth up and push these teeth down right here. Okay, and you can open anybody's bite. I mean, they think that you can't open them, or some people may, but you can open anybody. If you put the spring on there and it stays on there, it'll intrude those teeth and level that bite out. And that's not a real good picture right there, but you can get the idea. The intruding arch, see, is in this auxiliary tube, comes out here, and it's actually comes over here and comes around, and then this is activated, and so when you pull this up, it tightens this spring, and it wants to push down on this front part, and it also pushes up on this, but the occlusion is keeping this from coming up. So this doesn't come up, and this one doesn't go down. In fact, they will intrude some from the chewing on the block. In most cases, it will. All right, this same thing. But what I want to get through this pretty quick is to show you what not to do, or what to inform the patient about. And there's very few dentists know that this happens. They lose their retainer, and it stays out for 3 or 4 days on some of the cases, or maybe a week or so. They leave it at grandmother's, and they get it a week later, and they put it in their mouth, and then they come down with a joint problem, and their jaw hurts, so they think the retainer's gotten screwed up. It isn't. It's that the teeth have deepened again during that week or whatever time it was that they left the retainer out. And so the teeth have deepened again. So when they put the retainer back in the mouth, it hits on the front and the back teeth don't hit. And so the pressure goes to the joint, and the joint can't take the pressure. Now, like you bite down in the front by 10 pounds of force, and it may be 20 or 25 or 30 pounds in the back, where the muscles are right back there by the back teeth and back of the joint, and it'll be greater than what you bite down. You'll hit here, and then there's nothing touches in here. You have to take them back, really, and put a wedge on part of the teeth and let the others erupt back when you have to get them back in shape where they can wear this retainer. All right, let me go ahead. Now we've got where this left side was class 1 start with, and we'll get the right side in there, and here we're close to finish, and we've got the upper off now. Back several years ago we did this and soldered right here. Now we take this as an old 2, that's a 2, 8 wire, and go up and make this, and then come back and lap it with an 036 wire from the back. This is 036 here. That's what we use to go around the molar and come up in the roof of the mouth with a retainer. So just touch on that too while we're here. All right, we open it up, and now we've had these teeth down here to start with, and these have gone down and these have gone up. And let me get this okay, we're in class 1 now. Okay, we take it out of the bottom part of the arch, and now this is pretty well finished. We're leaving this on. We'll come in behind and bond a 3 to 3 on the bottom. Now I bond that on, and before I take anything off on the bottom, I just bond it on there. So we finish the case, and you make the retainer, and then you put the bite plate in the retainer. I'm going to show you the retainer in a minute. This is where we were, and that's where we've gone to now. You can tell how you open it. We've got a good overjet, overbite, and everything's ideal. Here you don't see the lower teeth at all there, and now you do, and it's still the class 1. The upper arch, now watch, this should be rounded out. You see how we did this? Now this tooth was dead before we started this. This wasn't that way, or this wasn't the orthodontics that killed it anyway. Okay, here it is. Now we put this in the mouth, and then we make some acrylic and put it in and have the person bite too when their head's in a normal head to shoulder relationship. Like I'm sitting here now, my head's in a normal relationship, and I bite a certain way, and my teeth come together. If I lean my head down this way just a little, my jaw will move forward. If I lean my head back this way, my jaw will go back here. So you have to make these bite plates where they teeth meet in a normal relation. And that's what's happening and makes this little track right in here. Now, if they leave this retainer out for just a short length of time, the bite will tend to deepen back now, and the lower anterior will go back up underneath here, and they'll hit early in this spot right there. And that happens, and then they put it in, and the teeth hurt. And in many, many cases they do. Some people, it doesn't bother them. Their joints are amazingly tough. Okay, and that can happen on any of these cases. So we finished this young man, and this is something I want you to remember to tell anybody that has a deep bite. In other words, they come in with their teeth way down like this, and you open them up and put them in, and you've got to put something. It's good if you bonded something on the back of each tooth to have it where they couldn't, even if they lose it, it still would hit there. So I like upper anterior 3-3 retention on them too. But if they don't have that and they leave the retainer out, then the teeth will deepen again. It'll go back up. They will start to deepen, and you put the retainer back, and now when they hit here, the teeth don't touch, and so the load is changed back to the joint. And if they've got any weakness in the joint, it'll start to hurt. And then people think, well, something happened to the retainer, and so they leave it out again. And now when they do, it even gets deeper. So I'm going to leave you with that information. Now, I did not realize that myself until just a few years ago, that I learned that I had people to come in, and I said, oh, what the dickens is wrong? And I figured out that while that retainer was out of their mouth, it deepened again just a little bit, but it would take the load off of these teeth back here that shared the load and put it from the front teeth to the joint, and the joint couldn't take it. So hope you get that down and can pass that on to anybody. We would enjoy having you in our little group here. We appreciate that, and so would like for you to subscribe to our channel, and I'm going to hang up and let it go. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll kill this.